And a Fox News alert: Senate Republicans defeat a war powers resolution that would have required President Trump to come to Congress before taking additional military action against Venezuela. The final vote was 51-50, Vice President Vance casting the tiebreaker.
On this vote, the yeas are 50, the nays are 50, the Senate being equally divided. The Vice President votes affirmative, and the point of order is sustained.
Joining us now is Republican Senator Tim Sheehy of Montana. He's a member of the Senate Armed Services Committee. He was there last night. I want you to listen to Chuck Schumer. You probably heard this live, but we'll play this for the folks and have you react.
What has happened tonight is a roadmap to another endless war because this Senate, under Republican leadership, failed to assert its legitimate and needed authority. Make no mistake about it. This vote makes things more dangerous, not less. It emboldens Donald Trump to push further down this reckless path.
If you were to diagram that sentence, there's like things wrong in almost every part of it. What do you take exception to?
Well, I take exception to the fact that, he should talk to all the families of the tens of thousands of Americans who've been killed by fentanyl, cocaine, gang violence that has been fueled directly and intentionally by the government of Venezuela for the past 20 years in this country, not to mention the global terror networks that their illicit oil trade has supported. So the Democrats wanted Maduro gone, just like the Republicans did, until, of course, Donald Trump actually took care of business. Then they decided to come out and condemn it. So, listen, we all believe in the constitutional balance of powers here. There's no question that Congress has a role in declaring war, but in directly taking out an active threat that's killing Americans every single day, that's well within the president's authority, has been since the Barbary Wars in 1805 onwards. This was a legitimate legal action, and it was in the best interest of our country. And this is just Chuck Schumer playing politics.
I love a reference to the Barbary Pirates. I first learned about all of those from Condi Rice way back in the day. Wanted to ask you also about this. Apparently, Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State, gave his former colleague, Josh Hawley, the senator from Missouri, assurance that there would be congressional consultation before anything in the future. Is that how you understood that?
Yeah, and the reality is, for all the bellyaching that Congress wasn't informed of exactly what we're going to do, when we were going to do it, they have every right to have concern for the fact that they call over to this building. This place, is about as secure as a screen door on a battleship. You call over here, say you're about to do something in Venezuela. They've shown they'll call ICE ahead of time and warn them of raids. We've seen previously that they'll start leaking things cryptically or directly on social media. So they can't afford to put our troops in danger. They can't afford to give heads up to our adversaries. So congressional notification and congressional approval are different things. The reality is this action didn't require either, and it was in the best interest of America.
Senator, I want to also move to another part of the world, if you don't mind, Iran. And the Iranian foreign minister was on with Brett last night. That was really something to watch. Here's a little bit of that.
Why would the supreme leader himself take to X and taunt the president of the United States?
Well, we were in the middle of a war started against us, and the rhetorics are quite normal in any war. We have many kind of threats by President Trump, by other American officials, by Europeans who are talking about Iranian, things in Iran.
And Senator Adam Smith of Washington on another network had this to say about military intervention.
I don't think we should get involved militarily. I think engaging regime change, dragging ourselves into a war in the Middle East, another war in the Middle East, is incredibly dangerous, an expense that the U.S. shouldn't engage in, and an enormous risk with, as I said, uncertain outcomes.
We're about 2 weeks into these protests in Iran. What do you see happening? Do you have any advice for the administration?
Well, whether we like it or not, Iran's been at war with us for 47 years. They've been hunting down, murdering, torturing, and slaughtering Americans all over the world, from the 1983 Beirut barracks bombing through our wars in Iraq and Afghanistan to, of course, how this regime started. Let's not forget how the Ayatollah's regime started, by taking our embassy hostage and holding hundreds of Americans hostage for a year and a half. So this regime's literal foreign policy is death to America. They chant it every day, and they back up those chants with actions by actually killing Americans and fueling global terror networks. They're the largest state sponsor of terror in the world. So to
what
act
did you
as
think of the threat towards President Trump?
That's nothing new. They've been threatening to kill our leaders, again, for years. So the fact that the people of Iran are now taking to the streets an overwhelming display that they are ready for this regime to go away. It's not our job to go and conduct regime change, but we should help these people take out the trash. And I think I fully support the president's action. But as he decides to get involved and help tip the scales here, it's high time we finally get rid of this murderous regime. We've been placating them for far too long. You're like a hobo on LSD with a knife in the street, and everyone stands back not wanting to touch them. The reality is they're trying to kill us every day. It's about time we knock this guy out. And I hope the people of Iran get the full support they need.
I feel like I saw that guy yesterday on 8th Avenue here in New York City. Senator, thank you. Appreciate it.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.